When you look up the word studio, you'll get a ton of very generic definitions, which actually surprises me, because back in my photography days,
back in my day,
when you had to develop pictures in a dark room, a studio simply meant having control. So that is the base for Kirk's studio definition: control. Maximum control of the elements that will affect the ability to capture what you intend to create. Control, especially for home studios, is critical because it helps you maintain consistency. The major components of a studio in order that helps to maximize control are these. First, you have to make the sound investment. So sound comes first. Second, great lighting makes all cameras better. So lighting is second. And then finally, third, everything that's in the shot, both in studio and on screen, and that's your video. If you want the finer details about each component so that you can build your own studio, stick around for the full video. All right, here we go. Main components of a home studio in order of importance. And of course, we shared that the number one thing you want to do is set up your sound.
Let's roll sound. Sound speeds.
I want to say this to those that are maybe wanting to argue with me. Folks will tolerate shaky video, and they will tolerate even, less quality video, unstable video, but they will sign off. They will swipe right if they cannot hear you, if they cannot understand what you're saying.
I beg your pardon?
There is several types of communications, yes, but the verbal way we communicate in our content is absolutely critical. It is absolutely critical. So you want to make sure you make the sound investment. And I always say make the sound investment because one of the things that I always find, especially in coaching, is that people launch out, they get this idea in their minds that content creation is for them, and they don't actually check to see if this is something they actually like to do. So making the sound investment is kind of a double meaning. You want to make an investment in yourself if you are a sound investment.
I know it's scary to bet on yourself, but if you don't, nobody else will.
But you also first want to make an investment in your sound. I'm going to be saying this phrase several times throughout the video, and that is, you want to start with what you have. Start with what you have. Everybody has a microphone. Everybody has a phone. Everybody at least has maybe a laptop with a webcam or something of the sort. Start with what you have and build from there. But making the sound investment, making an investment in your sound so that people can hear you clearly, that is a critical first step. Some of the other components that go along with making the sound investment is your sound effects.
I always did sound effect.
What types of sound effects do you want to have in your content, in your live shows, in your streams, in whatever it is that you're doing? Do you need a gunshot? Do you need a bomb drop? Do you need the DJ air horn? What do you want that sound effect to be? Number one. Number two, what audio level are you going to have that sound effect at? You want to make sure your sound effects are not louder than your volume. You don't want to make sure it's so low that it doesn't quite have the effect. You want to make sure that that sound effect audio level is right. Same thing for your video clips. If you're playing video clips in your live streams, or you have a video clip that you're going to play in the middle of your video.
Never mind, just watch this.
That video clip sound needs to be balanced with yours. Background music should be in the background. But then again, there's also background and house noise. For a home studio, there might be a dog barking, there may be somebody washing dishes, one kid is yelling at another. Can you soundproof your room? Is there carpet? Do you have blackout curtains that help with attenuation? All of these things are a part of making the sound investment. But they do not start on day one. And I want to make sure that we double click on that throughout the video. Start with what you have, but keep these other things in mind. Maybe I need to have a room that has carpet. Maybe I do need to put some soundproofing on this wall because we're getting some bounce. Maybe, yes, I need to have some curtains to control the light, but what if I get weighted curtains that help me with attenuation so that lawnmower outside sound doesn't bleed into my recording? The most important, the sound of your voice. The most important, of course, is the sound of your voice. You want to choose a mic, and you want to choose your mic placement. Here in this video, I have the mic on a mic stand that's sitting on the desk. I'm speaking across the top of it, so it isn't straight on, it's kind of to the side. I do like a mic in shot because I feel like I get better audio from it. But some of the other options are you can have a shotgun mic, you can have a mic that's on a boom arm that you can bring in, you can have a mic that is a lapel where it's wireless, you can have several different types of mics, but you need to record with it, listen to it, edit with it, and make a determination what's the best sound for your voice and what mic allows you to get there.
It varies from person to person.
I like to share with coaching clients that you want to keep about $300 on hand, right?
Please, like, who has that kind of money?
I know that's a lot. It's a lot. I know. I'm not gonna squabble at that. And so if you're not there, it's okay. Like I said, start with what you have. But when you're ready to invest in sound, you want to make sure you have about $300 on hand. You want to buy a mic, test the mic, document that mic, send that mic back, and repeat the process. I'll say it again. You want to buy a mic, test the mic, document that mic, send that mic back, and repeat the process. Second on our list is lighting. Great lighting makes all cameras better. 3-point lighting is what I was taught in photography. 3-point lighting is still the standard for video. You want to make sure you have a key light, fill light, backlight, which is also known as a hair light. Your key light is the main light that's lighting you as the subject or lighting your subject that you're recording. Many of us are self-supported content creators, so we're recording ourselves. I mean, I hit the record button, and so now I'm looking at the camera and doing this, but my key light is right here, and it is at an angle because I wear glasses. And so for my 4 eyes out there, you want to make sure you don't have the light directly above your camera pointing at you because you will have a glare. When I put my eyes up, you can see that. You want to have it off to the side just a bit, not too far, and then angled down at you so that you can look directly at the camera and not have that glare in your glasses. Your key light is critical. It needs to be a large light source. You want to make sure that there is some diffusion on it. You can get a softbox of some sort. That's going to be absolutely critical. Then you move to your fill light. And the fill light usually is going to flank your key light. And so for me, the fill light is on this side, and it's actually a panel light, LED panel from Godox. And I'm gonna leave links in the description to all of the things that I use in my studio. But the point isn't so much what I'm using. The point is 3-point lighting requires the key light. The fill light, in my case, is a LED panel, and it's on this side, filling in this section. It isn't filling it in fully. You can still see there's a little bit of shadow on this side because it's not as bright, not as powerful as my key light, but the fill light is supposed to fill in.
Burn up.
You get that? So it's on the other side. And then lastly, you have that backlight or hair light. This creates that halo effect, all right? My backlight, you can see it right around there. And it separates you as the subject from the background and allows your camera something to really grab focus on, and it allows it to blur the rest away because it has found its focal point. Bright lighting is a thing, mood lighting is a thing, suspenseful lighting is a thing, lighting for clarity is a thing. Sometimes I open up all the curtains and I shoot with that kind of lighting profile, just depending on what I want to go for in the video. But what I said at the beginning is still holds true. Great lighting makes all cameras better. Don't care what camera you have. If you have great lighting, you will see an improvement in that camera. The third thing on our list, and we're rounding it out quickly here today, is video. Video. You gotta record video. And for many of us, you wanna quickly move to what type of thing are you using to capture that video, whether it's a DSLR, whether it's a webcam, whether it's a phone. I'm not concerned about that part, especially as you have made your way through the components of a studio in the order of importance. You've made the sound investment, you've created a really great lighting profile, and you've played with it. I wanna give you some freedom here. Don't be afraid to just play with it.
Try to have fun.
I'm still playing with my lighting profile, and I've been in this studio for a number of years now, but you want to play with it. What you are capturing your video with, yes, it is important. Yes, it will have impact and effect, but in my opinion, it sits squarely right here in this order of importance. What you're capturing the video with is probably going to be the last investment you make because it is the biggest and most expensive investment, and you want to get it right, especially after you have been able to tweak some of these other components, your audio and your lighting. Video Video, however, composes more than just what you're capturing with. It's more than your camera, more than your webcam, more than your phone, or if you're privileged, you can have a DSLR.
Look, I got money to spend in here.
Your entire shot makes up the video. The distance between you as the subject and the wall behind you, the distance between you, the subject, and the camera, how much space do you have? That makes up your video. What do you have in the shot? What's in the background? Is it clear or is it blurred? Do you have any on-screen graphics? Setting up the shot includes all of these components. What's in, what's out, and my word for you when it comes onto your video component is to be intentional. I want you to recognize here that there are many things that you can control in terms of your video that have nothing to do with what you're capturing the video with. How you frame the shot is based on where you put the camera. What's in the shot is based on how you have adjusted or situated your studio. Put something that's a personal touch in there. Put something that adds some character. It gives people a window into who you are. I have a laptop back there and there's a screen on it. I've got a bookcase back there that's got a number of different other gear on it. I've got pictures on the wall of people that I've had on my show. These are things I often get a chance to share with clients as we do a studio consultation. You want to put something in the shot that allows people into this window of who you are. There are times that I shoot with this door open so that people can kind of get another peek into what's happening in my home just beyond the studio door. Those are little Easter eggs that you can play with, cause your audience to kind of lock in with you. You get to decide, so you want to be intentional. We talked about graphics, what's on screen. Is there a lower third? Is there a logo? Maybe you have a QR code. Is there information you want to call out? Understanding composition. You want to make sure you are framing it up in the best way possible. Should I shoot straight against the wall? Should I shoot into the corner? What colors are part of your brand? Can I include those, incorporate those into my studio? Can I get RGB lights that really help to pull me off of the background as well? These are the things that really make up a critical component to your video. And then of course, yes, what you capture your video with is important as well.
Man of priorities.
Whether you decide to start with your webcam and you've improved your audio, you've improved your lighting, and you've saved up and you've gotten enough money together to be able to make that purchase. I think it's a purchase that you only want to make once. So you definitely want to make it last and make it count.
It's your last one, so make it count.
A good friend of mine says, you can either buy it right or you can buy it twice.
I like that.
And those are words I live by. My dad says it's very expensive to live cheap.
Also pretty good with people my own age.
And these are phrases and axioms that you definitely want to take to heart when it comes on to buying studio gear.
I'll remember that next time.
Here's a final point, and it's probably the most critical, and I've said it multiple times throughout the video.
You did, didn't you?
Start with what you have. If you've got a phone and you've got the backseat of your car, record that podcast. Maybe you've got a webcam, you've got sunlight and a corded lapel mic. Press the big red button. Or if you have a DSLR, you've got video light, you've got an audio interface and an XLR mic. No excuses, fam. You need to start churning out content. Never let your acquisition of gear outperform your ability to maximize the use of it. I want to repeat that one more time. Never let your acquisition of gear outperform your ability to maximize the use of it. A studio is control, yes, but it is also a cheat code for consistency and branding. But there are many definitions, so don't get railroaded into thinking it must be a certain way. Start where you are and keep an eye on what your potential next steps will be.
To the next step.
To the next step. To the next step.
Lord knows I didn't get this all at once. Let me say this, when it's all set up, you have a dedicated space to create content. And in this video right here, I share 5 types of video content that are getting major results. Wonder which area your content falls under. Click right here to find out and watch, and I'll see you over there.